will be a great wrestling podcast, and you can believe in that.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew.
This is OT3.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of OT3. As usual, I'm your host, or one of your hosts, Anthony, and I got my awesome co-host and producer, Paul. How we doing tonight, Paul?
Doing great, man. Doing great. How are you?
Good, and Matt's here. So let's start with the show. No, and
wow.
Of course we got Matt here tonight. Matt, what's going on? How we doing?
So, from the Washington Wizards to the Boston Celtics, I just have one message for them. Anthony, I think you know what that message is. I'm not finished with you yet. Ah, there you go. See? I did my bit.
I would have preferred you doing the other thing, to be honest with you now.
Which one? The Paul Heyman one?
And I want to say that the fact that you have a shirt hanging over a bald eagle, I think that's just un-American.
Well, that's really my turkey. It's supposed to be a turkey because I won the Turkey Bowl this year. It's not supposed to be an eagle. It's supposed to be a turkey.
Okay, well,
let's put it this way. It was a damn paper mache a student put together, and my dad just put a damn label at the bottom and gave it to me.
It's a nice thing no matter what. That's a trophy.
He did take his shirt off, so he was doing the statue a favor. No?
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
That took a little bit. Dang,
I liked it.
I gotta get better.
No, I got it. I didn't want to, I got to let Matt try and catch up to it. But nonetheless, obviously, we'll talk more about that Thursday, the sports. But let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about tonight. Before we get into Raw and SmackDown and Backlash and NXT, let's talk about some things that have taken place. First and foremost, let's talk about the news of Braun Strowman, Matt. What is your thing now that they're saying that after he had, the results came back, they're now saying he has a completely shattered elbow and will miss up to 6 months. Does this change everything for Raw going forward?
I mean, this guy had all the momentum going. Literally, he had the momentum going and broke his elbow because he wasn't finished with Roman. Haha, guess what? Roman got the last laugh in that, didn't they? But anyway, you hate me so bad. But yeah, I hope they go with the tournament. And I think it's time to give the rightful title shot to the man who's still has a rematch clause, I believe, which is Mr. Finn Balor. I think he deserves the title match. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that they should also, like you said, I think that Finn should be the number one contender. I'm not too sure, pardon me, why they're doing this whole, I talked about keeping the title relevant was to do this, and I think it helps like tie up all the other feuds, so that they could kind of have their own one-off type match and then get rid of that feud and move to the next one. But I don't understand why they don't just give Finn the first shot and then do that,
He has a rematch clause, like I was saying.
That's what you say, but you never know. I mean, there's other occasions where I think people have missed their. Technically, Bray Wyatt still has one for the SmackDown title, and they just dropped that idea. So it's just one of those things where I think that it's lost in translation, and it sucks that Braun's going to be out 6 months. I think for sure he would have had at least 1 to maybe 2 title matches in that 6 months that he's going to miss now, and now you're looking at best case Survivor Series that he returns. So it kind of changes that whole what they could be doing to build him up until then. So now I think that's a huge miss.
May, right? June, July.
6 months is November. Yeah,
he won't be ready for. I'd say hold him off till the Rumble, maybe. Have him come back and win it.
It says up to 6 months. So for them, he might be ready. I think Survivor Series is the ideal. That's for me from a 6 month standpoint. That's a little over 6 months from now, and it said up to. So this way, it gives him that little extra time. But we'll see what happens with him. And hopefully he has a quicker recovery and he's ready to go back in the ring because I think, like you said, Strowman really was on all cylinders right now, just top of his game, and he had a lot of momentum going. So we hope that he speedy recovery to him and he gets back in the ring sooner rather than later. Let's talk about Raw tonight. Obviously, we know for sure the only match that's been officially announced is The Miz and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. Now, the rumors are swirling that The Miz is going to feud with Roman Reigns next, and it's now being fast-tracked because of Strowman being out. Roman and Strowman were supposed to have one more match at Extreme Rules, and then we would have moved to The Miz and him as the next feud. Now they're saying that feud's getting moved up How do you feel about a Miz and a Roman feud? And do you think that it needs to be for the Intercontinental title?
I think it needs to be for their Intercontinental title. And then second of all, though, about this feud, if Roman can beat a guy like Strowman like he's done, I mean, what kind of chance are they going to say The Miz has against him?
Well, that's the beauty of it. The Miz has Reese to help him. So he's that, dirty tactics heel, which you got to love in the wrestling business.
He's very underrated. I hope they put the title back on him because Dean Ambrose, I'm sorry, the guy's starting to bore me. He's starting to be very dull. I don't know what they're doing with Ambrose. I don't like him with the Intercontinental title. I don't think he deserves that title. That title's more prestige, and I think it deserves someone like The Miz. Dean needs something new, and I think they need to drop the belt off of him and find some way to turn him heel because he's boring. The Miz is right. He is boring now. Dean Ambrose is not beginning of the last year, he was a top 10 wrestler probably in the business in the WWE right now. He's out of that. He's not top 10 anymore. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not doing it for me anymore.
No, I agree. I think he's not to the point where a lot of people thought he would be. I thought a lot of people thought he would just consistently, put on great match after. And it's not that he's not. It seems like lately, whatever the storylines they have for him, they're just not there. And I don't know. I think that Miz needs to win tonight. I think that it's time, like you said, for the title to be moved back to The Miz, and he could do more with it. Because he'll at least, when he was the champion, he was defending it on a regular basis. So we'll see how that goes. Is there anything else they've announced? I know they've talked about rumored matches, so I'm not going to get into that just because there's no, there's a possibility it doesn't happen.
Is this Raw?
But yeah, this is Raw. We're trying to do that because most of the other stuff is SmackDown and NXT related.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So you think about, we know Sheamus and Cesaro after last week, they won the tag team turmoil, eliminating every team, which is a feat in itself. I don't remember the last time a team's done that. So they're going to be the number one contenders now for the Hardys Raw Tag Team Championships. And then the women's title, Alexa Bliss is the champion now.
Good, she deserves it.
Do you think Bayley gets a rematch? Do you think Sasha gets involved? Maybe. What do you?
I'm sure Bayley. I'm sure Bayley will get her rematch. I hope they keep the title on Bliss. I like her. I like her character now. She's doing a really good job since they've called her up. She called her up. I like how they kept her momentum going from SmackDown to Raw. I think that was a smart decision. This now that Charlotte's gone, this seems like a very weak women's division. I think Bayley is outrunning her course a little bit. They need, I hate to say this, they're trying to make Bayley the next John Cena, and they're doing a good job because I think pretty soon we're going to start seeing her get booed. Just a lot of people are saying she's boring now. It's not what they thought. I think for Bayley, she gets over better with the NXT crowd. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I agree. I don't think she's getting boring per se, but I think that they need to keep her character from getting stale, and they need to do other women in the title picture. So we'll see how that works. The one thing I want to ask you, I've seen it brought up a lot of places now with this question, and it's a question I want to see what your observation is on it and what your answer is to it. Despite the fact that the Four Horsewomen were known to be a huge deal in NXT, and they're awesome. Don't get me wrong. I think all four of them have done well on the main roster. I think Charlotte, to me, is the best of the four and probably the best women's wrestler in the world right now. That's my opinion. But do you think that Alexa Bliss has had more success than all four of them?
Yes.
Do you think she's better than all four of them?
I still think Charlotte's the better wrestler, but success-wise, Bliss, just because she didn't play freaking patty cake with the title belt for 7 or 8 months. She actually had a good title reign. It came to an end because she was traded. I think we can all say that's the reason why she dropped the belt, because they knew she was going to get traded over. She came right over, won the belt. So how can you deny her?
Yeah, the first woman to win both.
She is. I thought they were going to have Charlotte do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they didn't. Bliss is the first one to win both, and no doubt in my mind right now she's the number one diva on this roster.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that was all I wanted to ask you on that. I just want to see what I think Charlotte's the best in the ring, no question. But I think Alexa Bliss has taken the most of opportunity and succeeded very well, and I think beyond what anyone expected for her to do. And the thing with her, she doesn't have a pedigree, of being a wrestler in the family business or wrestling before this. She kind of showed up to NXT and FCW and picked it up. And she's really learned a lot, as you could see, over the years. And within a year, she's held both titles. So, like you said, the thing that I thought for sure that would be Charlotte's thing. So.
And then I think it's a good segue to go to SmackDown real quick to talk about the women division over there, which I think is a cluster F.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that more in the Backlash segment.
Yeah. So, I guess the other thing we talked about is about this Bray Wyatt Finn Balor thing.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen with this? After him costing him and Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins, as we figured, is not over yet. So that will be happening again.
We don't need. I mean, pretty much we can't add on more to that. I think we should spend more on Bray.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Finn, I think this is the way to get the demon back out of Finn. As we saw, we haven't seen the demon yet from Finn Balor. It seemed like, the demon staying inside of him, as he would say. But I think this is a way to get him out. I think Bray Wyatt's going to push him to the point. We're going to see Bray cut promos saying, where is this demon? I am the darkness, stuff like that. And then Finn's finally just gonna snap and it's gonna come out. And I don't think it'll be a pay-per-view. I think it'll be at a Raw. I think maybe they'll do something different with his entrance. He won't come down. I think he'll just appear in the ring like what Bray does. And Bray may look terrified. We saw what happens when he went against the Taker. He didn't look, especially when he was doing his little backwards walk in that WrestleMania and Taker set up. Bray looked traumatized. Even you can see that. I mean, it was mind games. So I think this is a way to bring the demon out of Finn again.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it's going to be a great feud between the two of them, and I'm very excited to see what happens and what happens next for these guys. And I think that Extreme Rules, they're going to have some match. So I'm excited to see, what takes place between the two of them between now and then to lead up to that feud even more. And, that's one of the feuds I'm excited for in this trade, in this superstar shakeup, I should say. So, only time will tell what will happen next. I think that pretty much right now for Raw, that's pretty much all the things that I could think of.
Here's my question for you: we're going to SmackDown. We're going to Backlash. Do we want to go Backlash first, or do we want to go Chicago? I know
we're going to go Chicago first. Yes.
And I think we should get right into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Right into Chicago. Let's start with the first match. We have 4 matches, all title matches. Let's go with the douchebag Tyler Bate versus Peter Dunne. What do you think about this match?
Wow. Don't like Tyler Bate, huh?
I don't like, dude, his
versus
stash.
Pete Dunne?
His stash just makes me want to just punch him right in the face. I think it's a stash. That's got to be what it is. It's got to be the mustache that makes me upset.
Real quick before we get it, UK has officially been announced that they will have their weekly TV show on the WWE Network starting May 18th.
Don't boo the UK thing, Paul. The wrong time that he did that.
No, I was booing. I was doing it for the one you said previously.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll see how that pans out.
The team is for that though.
I heard is it Jim Ross and Corey Graves?
Nigel.
No, Nigel McGuinness. Yes. No, they said that. They said Jim Ross and Corey Graves is probably going to be the announced team for the women's tournament, which would be fantastic.
I'm going to watch. If JR is on both of those, I'll be tuning in. Speaking of the women's, did you see the little thing I sent you today?
About ODB?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I want to see her versus Nia Jax. Two overweight.
That'd be nice. You can't. Two bigger women athletes. That's what we'll say.
Today. Sorry, Anthony's going to kill me after the show. But anyway, I'm excited for that. I like how it's going to be on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Seems like Vince wants to go up against the freaking Al.
I don't think he cares about that. He's probably like, hey, whatever, we don't care.
He just wants to do it just to show that he just wants to flex his muscle, I think.
Yeah, why not? If you're Vince McMahon, that's what you do, man.
That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it. I hope we see some new superstars.
Yeah, exactly. I hope it's not the only 6 or what was it, 8 people that were in the tournament. I hope there's actually new additions every week. So that'll be interesting to see.
So let's go back to the match.
Let's get back into the takeover. Now that we talked about the UK tournament, get back to the takeover match that takes place before the UK championship.
We have Silly Stash, Tyler Bate, and wannabe fat boy Pete Dunne.
I'm picking Pete Dunne. I think this is a rematch from the finals, if I'm not mistaken, of the UK tournament. So I think Pete Dunne finally gets it done and wins the UK title.
I'm going to say Pete Dunne just because I don't like what's-his-face.
Tyler Bate.
I don't know why. It's just something about him.
The longest reigning UK champion. The only.
Defended the title once.
The only UK champion.
That's cool.
All right. I don't really have much more to say about it. I'm excited. I'm going to be honest with you. I have not watched enough of the UK tournament overall. Other than that,
They
and
should
I'm
have
excited to see what they do. So I want to see what these guys do on Thursday. What is it? Thursday's the first show, right? The 18th, and then on Saturday. So I'm excited to see what these talents are capable of, and I have a feeling they might add a brand new element, which will be nice.
I was just looking at just their age. Tyler Bate can't even drink over here.
Yeah, he's young. So is he done? He's young
23.
too. Is he?
So yeah, he's 23 and Bates 20. Good lord. No wonder he wants to stay in the UK. He can drink. Comes over here, he goes, "Hey, yeah, I'm the UK champion. Don't matter. Here's a Coke." Let's go. I don't know why I thought about that. That was weird. Let's go to the ladder match for the NXT titles. We have the Authors of Pain against DIY. What do you got?
I got the Authors of Pain. I think that they continue their dominance. I think that this match is meant for people to believe that DIY is finally going to win the titles back, but I think that they're just going to let Authors of Pain continue to roll. And I think DIY is going to be one of the next few teams to get called up to the main roster.
I think that's what it is. I don't think so. I would want DIY to get called up, but I feel like they may hold them off a little bit just because the tag team division right now is a little.
In limbo?
Guess. Well, the Raw one, we pretty much have teams. If DIY is getting called up, they need to go to SmackDown, just because the fact that you're Brinzago going for the titles means you're running out of ideas.
Hey, don't. You're lucky this isn't the Backlash segment because we're going to talk about that. So don't even get me started on that yet.
Hey, Rick Grimes and Shane, but okay.
So you're going with Authors of Pain as well?
I'm going Authors of Pain.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's go with the women's triple threat match since now Ember Moon is out. We have Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. I think she keeps the title.
Yeah. Now if Ember Moon's in this match, does Ember Moon win the match?
No.
I think Ember Moon wins the match because she wouldn't. It's not elimination, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, so she wouldn't have had to have pinned Asuka,
okay.
Right?
Well, that was the same situation back at
but Ember Moon wasn't in that match. Remember, I think Ember Moon is the person to dethrone Asuka, but I don't see Asuka losing Saturday at TakeOver Chicago. So she'll continue her dominance. I think she might get to over 200 matches before her first loss.
All right. Let's move on to the last match, which we have the returning Hideo Itami against Bobby Roode. Now, before we do this is in Chicago. What did you think about Itami going on Twitter saying, the whole go to sleep thing, mocking CM Punk and everything?
I have no issue with that because CM Punk will say it himself. He got the move from Itami. It was Itami's move. CM Punk
really?
used it. Yes. That. Itami had the move, and that's why when Itami first came over, he didn't use it at first because Punk. That was when Punk was in that phase where he was kind of being phased out of WWE, where he had left and they didn't really want to use any reference, and it took so long for them to finally be like, all right, it's been a while, go ahead and use it because of that. But it was Itami's move, and Punk used it here, and because he was in Japan at the time, so they weren't really using it here. So he was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take it and I'm going to use it here on the WWE. So yeah, no, I have no issue with that. I like it. I like that he adds that little, caveat that he puts in there, and I think it's funny. So.
Oh, here it is. He wrote, "Chicago is a perfect city to hit my go to sleep."
Yep. Because he's saying it's like a little thing. Yeah, exactly. It's a little like, hey, Punk, like I know you're not around, but that's a little not like a knock on him, but like an homage. Like, hey, in Chicago, I know you did it. You do it just as well as me, but Chicago's me a great place.
He hits it. Does the crowd go crazy and chant Punk as soon as he hits it?
I think so, but I do not see Itami winning in Chicago.
You don't.
No, I see Bobby Roode retaining.
Now, let's say Itami had never got hurt the past couple of years. Do you think he would have been a champion by now?
Oh, absolutely. I think Itami would have won the title, like we talked about when Breeze and Finn Balor had the number one contender match back in NXT Orlando 3 years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. A great match, but I think for sure that he would have been a champion by now.
All right, so you're going with Roode and I'm going with Roode.
You're going with Roode as well?
Yep.
We agreed on every match?
Yep. And now here is my...
Yes. Go ahead. I was just about to say. Let's talk about what happened that leads us to believe why he's going to show up.
So let's go back to
ROH.
ROH on was it Saturday or Friday?
I think it was Saturday.
Adam Cole wrestles his final match in ROH. Young Bucks come out. They do the whole little, they make the click thing. Lights go out, and
Marty
Kenny
Scurll.
Omega. No, not Marty Scurll.
Oh,
Kenny
okay.
Omega first appeared on the Titantron, telling the Young Bucks, why are you with this guy, the same one who wanted to get rid of you guys. He looked at Cole. He said, you've had a great run, blah, blah. Then he told Cole, you're fired from the Bullet Club. And then on the screen, in his little, I guess it's a penguin thing or whatever, mask?
You're talking about
Or
Skrull?
Crow? Yeah, what is it, like a crow? Or
Yeah, it's like a penguin, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He shows up next to Kenny Omega. And they actually have a series, the Bullet Club, that shows how this all came about. It's actually really cool, by the way. It shows how the Young Bucks didn't want to do it because Cole was their friend, and Omega's like, you know what, this is why you guys need to do this. It's it's all fake, it's staged, but it's actually, I'll send the link. It's actually kind of cool what they do. So, lights come back on. Marty's in the ring, opens his umbrella, says Bullet Club. Young Bucks just nod, super kick the hell out of Cole. And then, Marty takes off the shirt, reveals, Bullet Club. Every club needs a villain on the back, which I thought was kind of cool because I guess he is the so-called villain. I guess is what he. So after that,
what about he hit him over the head with the umbrella?
Hit him with the umbrella, then picked him up by the end of the umbrella, and then the Young Bucks gave him a kiss on the cheek. So let's backtrack 1.5 years ago to AJ Styles in New Japan.
Real quick on that. I don't know if you read this, but ROH and the Bullet. I know the Bullet Club specifically is going to have all their shirts sold in Hot Topic starting in June. So you'll be able to get the Cody American Nightmare shirt, the regular Bullet Club shirt, Marty Scurll's new shirt, which looks awesome. I don't know if you saw it. They actually put pictures of it, but it says every club needs a villain, and it has an umbrella through the center of it, and then it says the Villain Club instead of the Bullet Club.
And you get that.
Yeah, some really cool shirts.
I'm gonna get
very
that.
Cool.
I'm gonna get that Cody Rhodes shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without Cody, not Cody Rhodes. Remember?
Sorry. So let's go back 1.5 years ago. AJ Styles, he got super kicked out. Actually, he took every single finisher there was.
He took his own finisher.
Yeah. So let's go back to now. Same scenario. I think Adam Cole shows up at Chicago. I think he's on his way to Chicago right now. I think he shows up.
Where? In ringside, he shows up during a match.
Well, let's think about this for a second. After Hideo Itami, who does Bobby Roode have? Really, no one.
Roderick Strong, maybe.
You got all this. Maybe Cole comes down and confronts Roode. Usually they don't. Usually side, ha ha he he. I think this is the first time someone actually comes out.
Okay.
Hey, is Matt
I think Cole gets in the ring and confronts Bobby Roode.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Matt, you're having a little breaking up on us there. We still hear you, but
You hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like it fixes
better.
it.
I think this is the first time someone actually gets in the ring and does something. I think Cole confronts Bobby Roode.
okay.
Or if Cole comes in as a heel because they really don't have too many, maybe he attacks Hideo Itami after the match. Maybe Hideo Itami gets some kind of standing ovation. Cole comes out and lays him out.
Is there any chance he shows up Sunday at Backlash?
Cole, no, he'll be in NXT first.
Okay, NXT first. You think that? I think that's a good prerequisite right now for everyone. It kind of helps you learn the WWE system, even if it's for a couple months.
I think he even said to himself he would like to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how do you feel about them saying that Aleister Black is fast tracking to the main roster?
I have no problem with that. He's a great wrestler. He deserves
But
to be.
do you think he was in matches with the cruiserweights? He's not a cruiserweight. And they're saying there's talk of him being in the cruiserweight division. How? Isn't there like a weight limit on the cruiserweights?
Well, how big is? Let's see.
He's got to be over 205.
He's 205. They bill him at 205.
Wow. So he's going to be a cruiserweight?
Yep, they bill him at 205.
Well, that means he's going to Raw. But what about that finisher he has, man? That kick. Yeah.
The black mass.
So he doesn't have a match yet for TakeOver either, so maybe he gets something. Sanity. I think that they might get announced for a match. I think them and Roderick Strong are going to end that feud between Young and him. So a couple other matches I think will be announced. Obviously, like you said, we just have the 4 title matches as of right now, but I think more might be announced this coming week or maybe on Wednesday at the NXT episode that's taking place before.
Oh my God! I just watched that kick. Good Lord!
The one his finisher, right?
Jesus God, that hurt
no joke,
me.
man. No joke.
I don't know what's worse, that or King Sasha.
Yeah, and just announced too. I don't know if you saw this, but Jim Ross will be commentating not only the UK show, but he'll be commentating the title match at NXT Chicago for the UK title.
I will be watching that. Hands down.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, can't wait for that then. So, what do you think? Do you expect any other matches to be announced?
I think just Sanity, like you said.
Okay.
That's about it. Nothing else I can think of.
Okay. And match of the night, star of the night.
Match of the night will be the ladder match. Star of the night will be Tommy.
I agree. I think I don't think the ladder match will be the. No, I'll say the star of the night. I think Tommy. I think Tommy is really going to do well in his. I think the match of the night's going to be bait and done. I know you don't like either of them, but I think that they're really going to surprise people, and it's going to be the first time really anyone gets to see them. Other than if you watch the tournament, you're going to see them on the NXT stage.
Jack to that match.
Well, he might be added in the UK show, so we'll find out that when it debuts on the network this week. So
good. Get a tan. Who's wider?
No.
Jack,
No.
Sheamus, or Bojo?
We're not answering that question. We're moving on. Before we get to Backlash,
I guess my new
let's talk about, since we're talking about Chicago, let's talk about the greatest superstar of all time Twitter poll that finally is complete with 31 votes.
What time is it?
Right now?
It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time. With 31 votes in the total, CM Punk beat The Rock in the finals with 77% of the vote to 23 on The Rock's vote.
That means that means he probably pulled in 25-6.
Yeah.
How many votes did you say there was?
31.
And what was the percentage?
77% for Punk, 23 for The Rock. Fantastic. I think that's the most votes that we had for any of the.
Punk took in 24 votes to The Rock 7.
7. I was one of The Rock's 7.
Tell you what, man, if you hashtag CM Punk or The Rock, you'll get votes, and people love Punk. I don't get. People need to realize we still want Punk. I still want Punk back. You still want Punk back. Everyone wants Punk back.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a
Punk
thing that people don't want Punk back. I just think that right now he's done, man. And I think the less people talk about it, the better the chances are that maybe one day he'll return. But
the only way he comes back if his wife comes back. That's the only way I see it.
We'll see.
It should take her to come back first.
Well, we'll see. Regardless of the fact, CM Punk was voted by you, the OT3 viewers, and people that obviously saw our Twitter poll as the greatest superstar of all time. Not necessarily my choice, but that's the way it was voted. So congratulations on that, and thanks for voting. We'll hope to do something similar to that again, and we'll probably dive more in deep to that next week on the show. Speaking of dive, what do you think about this whole thing on Twitter with
they just came out, Bobby
and Buddy Rogers and?
Well, it just came out that Bubba Ray's not even mad about it.
Well, not even that, but the fact that whose opinion do you agree with? Do you agree with Orton to an extent that a lot of the stuff over there is these guys making crazy jumps and then they're putting their body on the line and the crowd chant, "This is awesome" in front of 600 people? But then you go to the main roster and these guys put on more, storytelling matches. Do you agree with that, or do you think that every wrestling, form of wrestling is good in some way and you appreciate all of them?
I appreciate them all. Just like I said, New Japan. Nothing will ever come close to that match with Okada and Omega this year. It's just where it's at, who's doing it. Now, TNA, they just sucked completely. The only thing that was good for them was the Broken Hardys, which was great storytelling. Other than that company's horrible. But ROH and New Japan are great.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
So,
it just depends on what you like. But let's get in the Backlash.
Let's get in the back. Let's talk about right now we have 3 title matches announced.
3 titles.
5 total matches. 3 of them are title.
You want me to go in the order I have here?
Huh?
You want me to go with the order I have here?
Yeah, go for it. What do you got first?
First, number 5. Well, I guess the 5th one down. We have Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be match of the night. No. God, I'm looking at the U.S. title. This is going to be a hard match of the night to pitch.
Yeah, I'm going to choose.
Nakamura. He doesn't lose.
Yeah, Nakamura is going to win in his debut. He's not going to lose the debut. They've done so much to really tout this up, to not have him show up on, have a match on SmackDown yet, and he'll finally have his first match on Sunday. I'm going with Nakamura at the win. I think they're both going to do fantastic, though, in the match.
Match of the night.
We'll talk later when we get to match of the night.
All right. And then now we have the I thought was hopefully was going to be a title match, but not anymore, or not at all. It's going to be 6 women's tag. We're going to have Naomi, Charlotte, Becky versus Natalia, Carmella, Tamina. I say the heels win.
I'm gonna go with
Actually-
the heels. No, I'm gonna go with the heels. I'm gonna say that I think Carmella picks up the victory here, and I think that those 3 will get a much needed win, and it'll kind of help because right now you got to think about Naomi and Charlotte were going to be probably for the title, so it kind of helps them maybe put their names in the hat for being involved in the title picture.
Heel wins. Charlotte turns on her team,
Okay,
and Becky Lynch does something to James Ellsworth.
more than likely, yeah.
Now, we'll save this one for one of the last. We'll go with the tag team titles first. We have the Usos versus Rick Grimes and Shane. Who do you have?
No, Breezango. Say it right. You talk
Breezango.
better about the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and
Oh,
Breezango is winning this Sunday at Backlash, baby.
No, they're not. The Usos are
That's
going to win.
right. Breezango is going to win on Sunday.
Usos
The
will
Fashion
retain.
Files are coming to Backlash.
Usos will retain.
And they're going to have to write a citation for the
Sorry.
Usos because
No.
they're going to become the next tag team champions.
No, the Usos.
Woo!
I don't know about this, man. We got Rick Grimes and Shane on one team. The other side, we got a
Stop
bunch of
calling
thugs.
them. First of all, that's not even your thing. You
I
didn't
know
come
it's
up
not.
with that, so stop
I know
saying it.
I can say it if I want.
No, don't say it anymore because it's not getting over. It's not getting over. Kind of like Roman Reigns.
Well, because I can't say the other word with it. Oh, I hate you so bad.
Yeah, it's just
I'm not
not.
gonna
It's just not
do
getting
that.
over. Just like him. So
I'm going to go with the Usos just because I want to see more of Usos American Alpha again.
I like the Usos. Don't get as the heels. I like their promo from last week. I think they're very underrated overall. I don't think they get the credit.
Also heels at one point, so I mean,
But exactly, Breezango is getting the win on Sunday. It would be a huge thing for them, and I can't wait to see them, crowned as the next tag team champions.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go with the Usos.
All right, so
I'll bet you a drink on it.
I don't. Nah, it's okay. I don't want that. I want something better than that.
Uh-oh.
I bet you take a
Alright.
month off of the show. Look at, he's not even responding.
Let's go with the next match. Let's go to the next match. Let's go with the U.S. title match: Owens versus Styles. Have they ever wrestled each other before? In
I
any
think
of
they
the-
have. Honestly, this would be something I'd have to look up. I don't know. I know they've never wrestled on the main roster.
I don't
in
think they've
WWE.
I'm talking about. I don't think so because I think while Kevin was in ROH, AJ was in TNA, so I don't think so. So can we? God, I want to start saying 20 years in the making right here. These two independent guys who started in the independent scene now headlining WWE events. God. I'm going to go with Owens only because I think Styles is going to start his feud with Orton right after this. What about you?
I'm going to go with Owens, but I think that this feud is going to continue for longer than just one match. But I don't think it's going to be a one-and-done kind of match for the two. I think Owens will do something in order to get the upper hand to win. It's not going to be a clean finish for Owens.
Okay. Now let's move on to the WWE title match. Randy Orton versus the Indian steroid machine himself, Jinder Mahal.
He doesn't take steroids, man. He diets well and he does all this other stuff. So
Ryback said because of his nipples he takes steroids.
well, Ryback also says anything now. So I don't even listen to Ryback anymore. He's another person just trying to get fame because he realized after he left he really didn't do as much as he thought he was going to be able to do.
That guy. But anyway, Orton. God, you know what? God, I want to say Orton, but I feel like they're going to swerve us.
I'm going with Orton. I think that being in this match does a lot for Jinder Mahal. Winning it puts him on a whole nother level, and I just don't think he's there yet. I think that being put in this match is a good thing, but to me, if he wins, it just kind of, to me, makes zero sense because not only was he just jobbing on Raw before he got traded to SmackDown in that superstar shakeup, but now he's your world champion, and this is the title that's been in WWE for decades and decades. And now he's won the most prestigious championship on the WWE roster in his first opportunity. Unfortunately, like you said, I see it possibly happening because with the Singh brothers at ringside, I have a feeling they're going to get involved. This, to me, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. He's probably one of my favorite of all time. I'm not looking forward to seeing this match if Mahal wins. But I really feel like it could put Mahal on the map, though, in this match.
Do you see a situation where, when the Iron Shrink was pretty big back in the day, where we start hearing some USA chants in the crowd.
You might, but I don't think
I'm not trying to say anything
he's
rude.
No. He's even said it. He does his thing when he gets in the ring and says everything. So I don't think it's that's the part of this is what they're trying to do is they're trying to elicit a response from the crowd. So I think there's a possibility you see something along those lines. But I'm sticking with Randy Orton, man. I have to. For me, I just have to stick with Randy Orton and winning this match.
I got one for you.
Who are you picking?
Orton wins. After the match, Baron Corbin attacks Randy Orton.
I wouldn't mind that. But what I think might be even more realistic is I think that Rusev showing up on SmackDown this week, they said, and he wants his title match. So I think Rusev might get involved right after the match, knocking both of them out. Because remember, him and Jinder had that falling out on Raw, so why not come out there and attack both of them?
I could see that.
So
I wouldn't mind that at
picking
all,
Orton,
actually.
No? Or are you picking Jinder?
I'm going Orton.
Okay. Star of the night.
Nakamura.
Match of the night.
Nakamura Ziggler.
I'm gonna go star of the night. I'm gonna go match of the night Nakamura and Ziggler, and then just to change from you, I think Jinder Mahal's stock is gonna rise. So I'm gonna make him the star of the night because I think that not necessarily that he's gonna put on the best performance, but him being put in this big marquee match is a sign of what WWE is doing on SmackDown and what they're gonna be more willing to do now that these wrestling pay-per-views, as they used to be, are now being more seen as events on the network where you only have to pay $9.99 instead of having to pay $60. They're able to take more chances with different main events. And like I said, I don't want Jinder to win, but I am happy to see different people added into the title picture. So he's my star of the night.
Any surprises besides us saying what we did about Rusev?
No, just like I said, the Rusev thing. Yeah.
Now, do they add Corbin and Sami Zayn to the match?
Yes. Corbin and Sami Zayn should be added, and I would pick Corbin to win that match. They still don't have pre-show matches either, so maybe Alpha will compete against the Ascension or something on the pre-show.
Okay.
I think definitely at least one more match will be added, whether it's pre-show or main show, minimum.
Do you think American Alphas will be, or any other tag matches?
That's what I was saying, Alpha versus Ascension.
Okay. All right. That's our predictions.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that. Is there anything? I'm trying to think if we're missing anything else overall. I don't think so.
No, I know people think this is short, but there's these with the brand split. These pay-per-views really aren't that long anymore.
No, we pretty much got to the point. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
While we're talking about it, do you think Omega finally wins the title against Okada?
Yeah, like we talked about last week. Yeah,
we
do
did.
Think so.
Saying it again.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much it.
I'm trying to think anything else big going on in wrestling right now. Oh yeah. Brock Lesnar's starting to be advertised for a couple events in June.
We're losing you again, Matt.
For July. For once again, what in the world is going on?
You're here now. We hear you now.
How about now?
You're
Brock Lesnar is being advertised, and Cena at the end of June, early July. Obviously, he's defending his title, Great Balls of Fire, Brock Lesnar. Do you think maybe the Cena, what does he do when he comes back? If he comes back earlier than expected, what do you think he jumps right into? Just a real quick question. Do you think he jumps right in?
I still want to see him and Corbin in a feud. I would love to see them at SummerSlam.
But does Cena jump right back into the title picture?
No.
To go for the record right away?
No, it's going to be a little bit off.
Do you think they save for his record breaking for WrestleMania?
I would think so. WrestleMania at the least SummerSlam. It's going to be a bigger, like they had the Royal Rumble was the tying one, and that's what the top three, maybe number two, depending on how you look at it, if you think Royal Rumble over SummerSlam. So I think that they're going to save his main. They're going to have at least one or two matches, I think, before he finally wins it, where he gets close and loses. So I don't think he's going to win it on his first go. But I don't think it'll take place as soon as he returns. I think he still has other stuff he wants to do. So.
All right, that's going to do it for me.
Yeah, I think that's it. Paul, you could take it over.
Thank you, sir.
I was like, oh no, not again.
Yeah, no, we're good. Thanks everybody for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook, please jump over to the YouTube channel. It's YouTube.com/Off the Top Turnbuckle. Subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss anything that any content that we're putting out. You'll get a notification. You'll be able to search on us a lot easier. And you'll just kind of keep up with everything. So with all the polls and everything like that on Twitter, it's at OT3 Podcast 1. They maybe we'll put some more. I think they said they were going to put some more polls out there. Didn't you guys say that?
Not at the moment. We'll figure something else out.
Yeah, we're gonna work on something. At this moment, not yet.
Okay, gotcha. So just stay tuned for that. You can email us at ot3podcast@gmail.com, and of course Facebook /Off the Top Turnbuckle is where you can find us on Facebook. So follow us. What do you guys think?
I think I just had the greatest idea for our next poll that we can start in
I
a
was
couple
actually
weeks.
I had one, so let's see what you had. I was just about to say it. So what do you got? Let's see.
Greatest
if we agree.
tag team /faction.
I was actually going to go with the greatest women's wrestler of all time, since the women's tournament is going to be taking place next. So we'll discuss that, but those are the next two that we will be working on.
Yeah, very
See, look
nice.
at that. We're some smart guys. We should be a tag team. We could win the titles.
Unless
could
I
be your
could be the
intro
Shawn
for
Michaels
Taz.
and you could be Marty Jannetty, because we all know
Can we at least
I'm
win
going
the
straight
titles
for the
first?
main title.
Okay, what time Superman punches you out?
Oh, you want to be our manager, though?
Sure.
There we go, right there.
Yeah, I'll definitely be a manager. I'll hit somebody over the head with a chair. That's cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.
All right, yeah. So Wednesday this week, Paul, you will have Crazy Talk.
I believe so. Yeah, we had it last week too. So if you feel like listening to a couple old guys talking about what did we talk about? We talked about catfishing. One of the guys didn't know what that was. We talked about some other stuff. The name of the title of the show is called Speaking of Sheepskin. So you can run with that. It's crazytalkwithak.com. You could go to the website, find it there. We're on iTunes and on Stitcher too. So it's just you can find us that way.
Awesome.
And
then,
we
of
have Side
course,
Sports Talk this Thursday, 7 o'clock. We're going to have a special. If you work on that, is he going to be on?
we'll confirm it. He said yes, but I want to confirm with him still this week,
All
just to make sure nothing's changed. But we will have a special guest, hopefully
we'll be talking,
to announce soon. Yeah.
we'll be talking more baseball. Baseball playoffs, and hopefully preview Cavs and Wizards. Let's go Wiz kids. Let's
Yes,
go
the Wiz
tonight.
And we'll talk more hockey, of course, too. Even though none of the teams and that big couple shocking first games, to be
Go
honest
Predators.
with you. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, like you said, so check Paul out Wednesday, and then check all of us back here on Thursday with the addition, of course, of Chris, and then possibly our special guest that we will be announcing the next couple days, as long as we can iron out, make sure that it's getting done for Thursday night. And yeah, we'll see you guys next Monday for OT3 again. Enjoy this weekend. I think NXT TakeOver Chicago is definitely going to be something to talk about, as well as Backlash. So have a great night, everybody. Be safe and take care. Enjoy Monday Night Raw. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Go Celtics.